not all GI Janes. We're not bald, buff women who hate men, right? And we're feminine, we're mothers, we're working mothers, we're short little women who try to get into yoga, right? There's so many of us, and we all have our own stories. I think it's just a matter of making ourselves known and talking about the experiences, and then also sharing how we're able to take the things that we've experienced and use it for good of the community. So. It's kind of funny because you don't really have a fade out period. You get notice that you're going home, and you have about 24 hours to prepare for that. So for an entire season, whether it's a 4-month deployment or a 6-month or even a year-long deployment, during that whole time you're gone, you're running at top speed, you're constantly working and moving. And then you go home and you're excited and it's great, and then bam, you're back home. And it's like running and then a fence post pops up. There was also the big mortar attack that I was involved in, where my teammate was injured. And so once I got past the whole reintegration of getting back into the flow of my family, there was this whole coming to terms with what had happened and how I was going to process that, and what kind of support I needed, and being able to identify the things that were going on with me that I could, of course, immediately identify with the middle sister and her military experience, and her coming home and not being able to sleep, and sort of always kind of being on alert, and that whole sort of coming from a completely different landscape on another part of the world, and then returning home to something that's familiar, but at the same time, her relative, her family, her loved ones have moved on and changed in various ways as well. Through opening myself up to talking about that experience, to reaching out to other veterans, to hear of others going through their own experiences, and finding out how they turn that energy into something positive, into something good, that has been very beneficial for me. So I would hope that people who aren't related to the military can at least make an honest effort to understand what it's like, to appreciate the value that military veterans can bring to their communities, and to just do their best to pay attention and actually engage. It's more than a yellow ribbon bumper sticker. It's more of a "We Support the Troops" t-shirt. It's actually taking the time not only to express appreciation, that's nice, but let's look within our own work centers, and let's look into our communities and make sure that we're not losing any veterans in the gaps, that we're reaching out and getting